Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. Thank you all for joining me once again. I want to speak a little bit just on the subject of this young man that apparently went inside I think it was a building in Manhattan, New York, and unalived, I can't say it, but I want to say it, but four innocent people with an AR-15. And it's just crazy. This type of stuff is crazy. Really, I had to really look at this case because so many different things are happening. People, it's like I don't know how to keep up. It's like if I read about this story, then someone else will give me some other kind of story about something else, and everything is just happening so fast. All this crazy stuff is happening so fast, and it's hard to keep up with all the insanity that's going on around me. So I had to really make sure I got my facts straight with this. But at any rate, yeah, this young man, he went in and unalived four individuals in this building. According to some sources, state that he was trying to get at the NFL. This is what some articles are stating, that he was trying to get at the NFL, and apparently he ended up taking the lives of the wrong people, I guess, along the line. So, yeah, it's such a tragedy, and my prayers go out to the family members connected to these people who have lost their lives. In addition to that, the suspect has, I believe, took his own life. This is becoming more and more common. Okay, but apparently, some type of a special show on CNN, one of the reporters or journalists or editor, I don't know who this person was, apparently accused the person with the gun, the one doing the damage, as a white man. Now, when I look at the picture, it's clear that the picture is a black person. But the individual on this CNN panel says that he's possibly a white male. Now, what's crazy about that, according to the article that I read, the picture had already been shown that this young man was a black person. Now, it doesn't matter whether the person is black or white, but knowing CNN, like I know CNN, like a lot of people who have eyes to see and ears to hear know CNN, they know CNN loves to spread a lot of rhetoric and propaganda and misinformation. It is CNN that does this type of stuff. Okay, they've gotten a little bit better in certain areas, but they're still doing this type of stuff. So I want to let you guys listen in on a 60-second audio of this individual saying that this guy was possibly white. And I'm going to give my opinion on this because this is just enough. Enough is enough. Man, come on now. Stop it. But anyway.
Who he is?
They do not know who he is. They know he is a male, possibly white. He's wearing sunglasses. He appears to have a mustache. And that picture has been distributed to every police officer in New York City, particularly has been sent to the phones of the search teams inside that building, because whenever they encounter a group of people, the first thing they have to figure out is that individual among these people hiding among victims or pretending to be an office worker? Because one thing you don't want to have happen is to have this kind of cordon where you're trying to evacuate people in groups as you can get them to a safe corridor and have this person slip out with them. So yes, they have the picture and they have distributed to everybody on the scene.
All right. John, stay with me. I know you're obviously getting information here in real time as we're talking.
That's the end of that there. I don't see how anyone could bother to watch the mainstream media anymore. I really don't. I really don't see how anyone could watch this type of stuff. I don't know fully what's going on here. Like I said, I looked into this as best I could. I've read several articles from the Newsbreak, online news site, which is more liberal. And then I read Breitbart News, which is more of a conservative. So I wanted to get both sides of it. Now, obviously, Breitbart News is saying that this person is black, and a picture that they showed, I don't want to say, let me take that back by saying obvious. The picture that Breitbart News shows is this man was black that did this. They're showing a picture. The one from Newsbreak, they showed a picture, but it was kind of like awkward the way they showed it. And it was almost like they were trying to change the words up to try to make it look like it was just not clear what the article in Newsbreak was trying to communicate. So could this person have been white? Could this? I don't know. I don't know whether they. But here's the bottom line: whether the person is white or black, it doesn't matter. And but let me speak on this real quick about this whole thing. If this individual sitting at CNN is given misinformation about who this what particular ethnicity this person was, whether white or black, if they were doing that, and if their intentions was impure, if they were told by the higher ups to push this type of agenda, make it look like white people are just crazy and back crazy, whatever, you shouldn't do that. It's simple. If this person has said that this editor or this news person was saying this because their higher ups told them to say this, look, man, have some integrity about yourself. It would be really hard and difficult for me to sit up here and speak on something and talk about something that I don't know anything about. That, or if I do know something about it and you're asking me, my higher ups is asking me to do something that I know is against my principles, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Now, me being a child of the Most High God, if I had to make that type of decision, God would open up a door for me and bless me with a better job. I know that, not just because I believe it, because I know it. I know he would. He's been taking care of me, providing for me, opening up doors of opportunities for me, healing my body, strengthening me, protecting me. He's been doing all that. I know this from personal experience. But I couldn't be in that type of position. And all I'm saying to this man is, if indeed he's purposely trying to push out propaganda, misinformation, bro, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. Your higher ups, if they're telling you to do this, get another job, man. Have some integrity. That's all I'm saying. If this, in fact, this is true. Now, on the other side of this thing, I could talk about what is the motive behind all of these so-called lone shooters or whatever. You know, what is the motive about what is causing all of this, and what's provoking these people to do this? I could go down that stream of understanding, but I'm not in this video because I've already talked about it. I've already talked about the possibilities. I'll just throw it out here, and then you guys can, if you so desire to do so, you can look at some of my older videos and find out what I said. I mentioned not split personality, but multiple personality disorder. That's what I mentioned. I'll throw it out there, multiple personality disorder, something the mainstream media doesn't never talk about. Something, and when I say the mainstream media, I'm talking about both the left and the right. But that's a major problem. That's a real brain disease, if you want to call it that. That's a real mental problem, but no one wants to talk about that. Why aren't anyone talking about that? What if some of these people that are doing this do suffer from multiple personality disorder? What if they are? Because we can't keep saying, well, they're doing this because they're stressed out and they're mad with the world. We could argue that, but is that always the case? You mean tell me that you don't have you completely, your level of self-control is so whacked that you want to just unalive a bunch of people that you're angry at on your job or what? That doesn't make, it makes sense. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. This can't be all it is. And drugs can't be all it is either. Well, they was messing with some drugs and it messed their head up. That's possible. I'm pretty sure that plays a part. But is that the only thing that plays a part? What if it is MPD? What if it is MPD? Because I've read up on that. And that is, and people don't understand that MPD can be caused. One of the causes of MPD, if not the only cause, and I've been studying up on this for quite some time, is something that is something that's so tragic and so horrible that occurs in this person's life that it literally splits their personality, literally splits or divides into different subsections, what are called alters, in order to deal with the trauma. The trauma is so intense and so horrible and so damaging to this person's mind that their mind literally fractures. And in order to deal with the trauma and keep the person from going insane, the mind, the alter that the mind splits into, absorbs that pain. That's a real phenomenon. You have some people that has faked it, but there are, from what I've read, millions of people in America and all over the world who suffer from MPD. And a lot of these people are walking the street. Could it be that some of these people are in that same category? In my personal opinion, I think some of them are. And they almost always delete themselves. Almost always. I said I wasn't going to go too far into that, but I ended up taking that route. But that's just something that I think people should consider. Now, would the mainstream media and the higher ups talk about that? Probably not. Probably not. For reasons that I'm not going to get to in this video. But all I'm going to say is this. It's a tragic situation. And all I'm going to say is that people just have to pay attention, man. We have to pay attention to our surroundings. I know we don't want to live in fear, and I want to have fun, and I want to enjoy myself. And that's true. We need to have fun. It's nothing wrong with having fun. We literally need to have fun every now and then to get the load off, to get the stress off of you. You know, you need to have fun every now and then. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, we still have to be careful. We have to be extra alert. We have to be more on top of things than we ever have been. People walking in, you know, let's be realistic, man. You don't know who's walking in the building. That's why security should always be watching. Because you never know. Because apparently this guy, they showed a picture of him. The camera was showing a picture of him holding an AR-15. Now, when he entered into the place, I don't know how he got in there. I didn't get into all the details how he got into there, but Jesus Christ, man. You know, stuff like that we have to really pay attention to. We really have to pay attention to. It's just unfortunate that we live in this kind of world. Back in the 70s and 80s, it was all about the serial killers. That was what everybody was terrified about, the serial killers. Now it's these lone shooters. People, what's going on here? What's going on? Is it because people are stressed out? Or I'm just stressed out at the problems of the world? I just can't take it anymore. Let me delete a bunch of people that I'm angry at. No. Come on, man. Yeah, I think, and you can call me a conspiracy theorist, but like I said, I've been reading up on this for quite some time, and this stuff is documented. I think something else is going on here. But once again, this is an unfortunate situation, and I'm just saying we all need to be more careful, you know, how this guy got in this building and did what he was able to do. Was there any security? What it said, actually, the article states that one of the individuals that lost that was unalived was I think a off-duty police officer. I think it was off-duty. I don't correct me in the comment box if I'm wrong about that. It's just really, really sad. It's really, really sad. And you know what I think? Let me say this too before I close this video, man. It's amazing to me. Even though the media sometimes gets on my nerves, and these people are so full of nonsense, especially the liberals, the liberal media. It's just, they twist stuff and whatever. But it amazes me how these reporters and journalists are able to report this information and maintain their sanity. That always amazes me. I say to myself, how do these people not get depressed? How do they not just be like, I don't want to do this anymore? Because they constantly have to give this kind of grim, horrible news, and they have to do it professionally. Who wants to talk about that every day, man? But they have to. They have to give you the news. You know, it's like I have deep respect for these reporters. I really do. I really do. I have a lot of respect for them because you have to have a strong mind. Maybe some of them are religious and they pray and ask God to give them strength or whatever kind of religion they're in and ask their God, you know, to be fair, to give them strength. You know, I don't know. But I have great respect for a lot of these reporters who have to report on this type of grim information, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. I mean, this is an unfortunate situation here. And, you know, if this reporter on CNN, this guy was saying what he was saying, and if he was trying to push propaganda, he's wrong for doing so. He needs to straighten up, man. Giving that type of information like that is wrong, bro. That's wrong if that's what he was trying to do purposely. That's wrong. And you need to make some decisions. If your higher up is telling you to do this, you need to make some decisions, have some integrity about yourself and say, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not right. You telling me to say that this person was possibly white when the person was clearly black, you know. But on the other hand, I give kudos to all the reporters that are out here reporting this kind of stuff and keeping a straight face. It takes great character and great strength to be able to do that. So that's what I wanted to say about that, you guys. Yeah, what do you guys think about this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all and see you again.